today's video, we're going to be talking about why deliverability is so incredibly important. In my opinion, it's one of the most important aspects of email marketing, just due to the fact that if you're simply not landing in the primary or promotions tab and you're landing in the spam, no one's going to view your emails. You can have the best offer, the best copy, the best design, but if simply no one's actually able to see your emails in their email provider, whatever it may be, then you're not going to make any cash. You're just going to fail. So deliverability is super important. I'm going to show you why, and some simple fixes to make sure that you land in that primary inbox. So what is deliverability? It's pretty much your sender representation. So basically, if you have a good sender representation, you're going to be landing in the primary, which is the money. The promotions, it's definitely not ideal, but you can still have a good sender representation and land in promotions. And obviously, if it's bad, you're going to be landing in spam. Now, this is definitely not ideal because that's pretty much the death wish. Nothing's going to be good for you if you're landing in the spam. So if 36% of your list never sees your emails, that's pretty much bad deliverability. So let's go over some common deliverability killers. So the biggest one, I guess, would be sending to your whole list or cold unengaged list. So this drastically hurts sender representation or reputation. Why this is because if you're sending to your whole list, a lot of people aren't going to be obviously engaging with that. A lot of people use fake emails, whatever it may be. A lot of them are just going to bounce. So you want to show to your Gmail or other providers that people actually like your content. People, are clicking your emails, they're engaging with their emails, you're replying to your emails. If you can show Gmail this, then Gmail's going to obviously put you in the primary inbox. The same way, if you constantly get spam requests or complaints on your email, Gmail's just going to send you straight to the spam because they think that people don't want to see this. It's the same with certain algorithms, right? The more people that enjoy your content, the more that these, I guess, places are going to promote it, right? So just think of it as like an algorithm in that sense. So another big thing is smart sending. So smart sending is a feature designed to, I guess, not overwhelm people with emails, but when in reality it drastically affects, obviously not being able to get all the emails inside your flows, everything like that. And it drastically can actually make you have more spam complaints like that. So if your smart sending is on, please turn it off right now. Another one is image-only emails. So if you are sending images only and not including any text, whether that is hiding it in the footer, which I'll get into, or if you're just, pretty much just sending straight images, again, that can just elicit to Gmail that you are just a spam, because obviously images only could obviously mean just like spammy stuff. So we want to make sure that we're including some text. So obviously the fixes would be to send to an engaged list. So 14, 30, 60-day list, disable smart sending and hybrid designs, so which I'll get into. These alone can move you from promotions tab into primary inbox. So some other deliverability fixes that you can do is footer HTML, I like to call like secret text. So in your actual footer of your emails, obviously like a lot of e-com emails are just image based, right? So if we have images there, what we want to do is make sure there's still some text. So what you can do is in the footer of your email, you can grab some website from wherever it may, or some text, from whatever it may be, put it in your footer, make the font as small as it can go, as well as the line spacing, so it doesn't take too much room, and then change it to the same color as your footer, usually white, whatever it may be, and then turn the transparency down as well. I have a video on my YouTube channel if you want more information like that on how to do that, but that way it's still in the footer, it's still in the email, it's just hidden in plain sight. That way it sends to Gmail that, hey, this email has text in it, it's not all images, and we're gonna not list it as spam. Another one is to be sending regularly. If you're sending regularly, this promotes obviously to the algorithm as well that you are engaged and people are engaging. If you're only sending once a week or once a month, this is gonna badly represent your sender score. So we want to be sending every, at least twice a week, ideally 3 to 4 times a week, but we really want to be making sure that we're sending consistent emails, and this is drastically going to improve our deliverability score. So this is a 6-week warm-up plan for your reputation. Week 1 and 2, you want to be only emailing your 14-day engaged only. So this is just people who have only engaged with your emails within the past 14 days. So you really want to be doing this. And then in weeks 3 to 4, if your open rates are coming up, and we're seeing that 50% rate, then we can add a 30-day engaged list, and then so on. And then weeks 5 and 6, if your open rates are increasing, you can add the 60-day. And if your open rates are consistently staying up higher and higher, you can increase that, that window from 30, 60, 90, even 180, whatever it may be, as long as your open rates are high and people engaging with it. So, send 3 to 4 high value campaigns per week during this time, and you'll see that your deliverability is just going to skyrocket. So domain authentication, why it's critical. So as well as all these other factors, if you're sending from like the Klaviyo or Shopify like domain, this is going to send to Gmail that you're a spam. You want a custom domain, make it human. So like, whatever it may be, whatever your brand name is, make it, not like sales or whatever, like Finn or, hello, whatever it may be. And you want to authenticate that domain. So you want to set up your SPF, your DKIM, your DMARC with your DNS provider. So you can go to whatever it is, GoDaddy or Porkbun, whatever it may be, and you want to set up these deliverability factors. You can YouTube this and go over it. It's super simple, but when you set up these, it authenticates your domain. So if you just create a domain and start sending from that straight away, you're just going to end up in spam because it's not authenticated and it's not, I guess, warmed up in a sense. And then you can obviously check your records. You can use a site called like MX Toolbox or any other one that sort of authenticates your DNS, whatever it may be, and checks your email deliverability. So you want to be making sure that you have a high sender score before you start sending with this domain. So you can use this website in advance. Design and copy that land in the inbox. You can do a lot of things with this. Obviously, if you're going to send text-based emails, use it in the Arial font or native font. Don't use some crazy fonts. This can help you with looking just like a normal sender and not like some spammy thing. If you're going to use designs, make sure they're compressed. So you can go to places or websites like I Love Image, and you can compress the image down, because if you have some large based image or large file size, one, it's going to take ages to load when you click on the email, and two, it's going to obviously send a Gmail that you could be some spam. So you want to make sure that you have compressed images in the smallest file space as possible. So text version or minimal HTML. So obviously, if you want to just send text-based emails, just send text-based emails. And with your compressed designs, if you want to have designs, make sure there's design in the text in the footer. So there's still, you want to always make sure that there's text. Never send just straight images. So your deliverability checklist, you want to make sure that you're sending to engaged segments. So your 14, 30, 60, so on, as long as your open rates are staying consistent. Turn off smart sending. We do not want that on. Please take that off for both campaigns and flows, because it can be turned on for both of them. You want to compress all your images. Go to I Love Image, compress all them. Use hybrid email designs. So I would say use both designs and text-based. You can use like hybrid, like text and images in the same email. But I would say if you're an e-commerce store, you're most likely going to be wanting to sending a mixture of both. So, have your fancy emails, have your text-based emails, but always make sure to compress them and to add that secret text if they're just going to be image only, that is. Segment your list. So like we said, segment into those 14, 60-day lists. Verify your domain with SPF, DKIM, DMARC, super essential. If you don't have that set up, then you're automatically just going to send it straight to spam. Send from a real person, not some fake account, salesy account, sales, whatever. Send from your real name. And do that warm-up plan. So obviously make sure that you're sending to your 14, like we talked about. Each fix here unlocks visibility and sales. So if you want final thoughts, unfair advantage, most brands ignore deliverability. If you can simply just add, or simply be in the primary inbox next to your competitor that's landing in the promotions tab, you're going to make a lot more money compared to them, even if you're smaller or not as established. You can just unlock potential revenue that's already there. It's just a visibility problem. If you need help implementing your deliverability, you can DM me on Instagram and we can help you set up your deliverability and make sure that you're turning your email